I have so much trash. Okay, I cleaned up like 2 bottles. It's good enough. Sorry guys for being a bit late today. Busy day? Oh shit. So there was a potion game that was a bit similar to ours. You can find it. Dish one. It's got pretty good reviews though. Not very good reviews, 94%. There's a bit of similarities here. I didn't know about this game, which is surprising because apparently it's been in development for like 10 years. Never once heard of it. I guess I'm not the target market, or at least whatever marketing team on board doesn't think I'm the target market. The similarities would be the open world aspect, which, I mean, it's not like that's unique, right? Some of the puzzle aspects and using potions in combat. But I think our game is still different enough, and the crafting system it's based on like recipes to make predetermined potions as opposed to custom making your own potions. It is what it is. It's fine. We're gonna focus on like the story aspect. I think that's probably the strongest USP that we have. Is the affecting characters' fates, right? Which is why all along I've been saying that our game is narrative driven in that sense. While it does have these other elements, it is driven by its narrative, by its characters. So it's fine. This looks good. I'm not going to play it. The reason I don't do that is because I don't want to inadvertently, subconsciously pull something from this. I'm trying to at least develop until I get the GDD made without tainting my subconscious too much. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it sounds stupid. Either way, we're gonna get working today. I have a few bugs to fix. I did fix a bug. Oh my god, did I push it to branch? Oh, I don't think I pushed it to the branch. It's fine, I could fix it again. My friend in QA, he found a very serious bug that I don't think any other player is going to find. I should merge this to main. Yeah, let me do that. Let's see. Switch to that change set. Merge in. Tutorial stuff. I don't fucking know what to say. Good enough. Okay. Next up, let's create a branch from this change set. Let's do fixing up some bugs in prototype build. Alright, perfect. Yeah, he found a bug, so I can recreate it here once this loads, and I'll try to explain what's happening, because if you've been watching this a lot, you'll wonder why this is happening, and I don't know how I figured out what was happening, but it's a wild one. By the way, my sound level's okay? I had that scare last time. Let me double check. Yeah, sound level's okay. We Gucci. Oh, I have to tweet out that I'm live. Twitch TV Microraptor Games. Live now fixing up some bugs and adding in some QOL to our prototype build. To try it? Question mark. Download it. Visit our stream and there will be a link. I mean, there won't be. It'll be a link to our Discord, but game dev, indie dev, subno dev, UE5, not UE6. Post. Okay, taken care of. Yeah, let me see if I can recreate it here. This is a wild one. Why didn't that work? Shit. I was able to recreate. Okay, at first I wasn't able to recreate what he was saying. And now I don't seem to be able to recreate it again. Shit. Okay, he sent me a video. Hold on, I'll show you the video. Can I show this? It is of his background. Let me see if there's anything sus on here. You know what, there might be. I'm not going to share that. That'll be breach of privacy. I can share this screenshot, though, that he sent me. Of this being open when he's not even at the alchemy table. It turned out he was just spamming buttons on his keyboard. Primarily tab, space, and like W. And this somehow appeared. And I was trying to track it down because if you know anything about our game or if you've been watching this a lot, the only way this can show up logically is when you have two ingredients in here, you have the brew potion button, you click it, and this shows up, right? That is the only way. It is not there's not like some accident in the blueprints or, you know, I made some other way for this to pop up and it's somehow being triggered on tab. There is no binding to the tab button, and the only thing bound to space is jump, right? So I was scratching my head for a while. How would this even appear at the start of the game if you're just like spamming buttons and somehow, you know, that appears? And I was able to get it at a point, but I'm not able to do it now. It turns out that widget components placed in the world do inherit, obviously they do inherit the default properties of the widget themselves. And there is a boolean which by default is turned on widgets of it being focusable, so it can receive hardware input. Now this isn't normally a problem with like game HUDs and stuff, But because these widgets are placed in the world, the game interprets tab the same way as if I, press like this, right? And I start pressing tab, right? I can move between elements. So, even though there's nothing bound to tab, because these widgets are placed in the world, they are receiving tab input, and you're actually switching between elements, widget component elements in the scene who can receive input. And then of course space acts like enter in this case. So the button for brewing the potion isn't created when the player puts 2 ingredients in, it is just set to be visible. So it's still there, it's just you can't click on it and the player can't see it, right? I believe. I actually kind of don't know now. Yeah, see, the button, there's nothing there. I'm clicking, doesn't do anything, right? But it can still receive hardware input, like tab and like space. Again, I don't really know how I figured that out. Especially, I might have been drinking. But either way, I know how to fix it. It's very simple. We just need to go into like the buttons here, and the ones that I know are going to be within the open, in the world, and even some others for safety, because none of them need to receive hardware input, or I'm sorry, need to receive keyboard input. They only need to receive mouse input. And on the button themselves, we can just unselect this is focusable, which if you read it, sometimes the button should only be mouse clickable and never keyboard focusable. So we just unselect this. And I'm gonna do it for quite a few things. I will be very mindful of this in the future, of course. We got brew button, process button. Are there any other buttons that show up in the world themselves? Any other widget components? I guess I could find maybe references to widget components. Oh yeah, there's gonna be one. This one has those X buttons, so that is the Cauldron. This one. I'm going to set both of these to be unfocusable. That should be everything. I can also put in one safety measure on that brew button. Because I was looking at it on the weekend when he told me, and I was trying to fix it at home, and I was able to fix it. But there's a little bit of, there's no safety measure here, right? Basically, if it can be clicked, if the brew button can be clicked, it's just going to load this no matter what. And I would at least like to ensure that there are we'll do an isValid index on index 1. That will ensure that there are at least 2 ingredients in the cauldron at the time. We'll check that, and we'll check is brewing. Is at table. That way, that should just provide a little bit of a safety measure here. Prevent that from potentially occurring again. Alright, good stuff. That bug is solved. I don't know how he's in QA, right? So his first, if I show you that screenshot again, it's absolutely, he didn't even complete the first tutorial. And he was able to do this, because he starts up a game, he spams buttons. And I love him for it. Okay, the second thing I had written down, let me just double check. Crosshair sensitivity select, the mouse. Those two things I wanted to do. The crosshair should be really simple. I'm just going to do like a white square in the center of the screen. We should be able to put that on the HUD. I'm literally just going to put an image in the center of the screen. It's like, I don't know, 2 by 2 pixels. Center 0, 0, size 0.5, 0.5, opacity, let's try half. We'll set the Z order as -10, so it's behind everything. A little small. It's still a little small. I don't know how big it should be. If anything, I think it's just a little too dark. Put it back up to 0.5. Let me try 8. 8 and 8. It's really big now. Plus it shows up here. I don't really want it to. Let's see, might have to put some more thought into this. I could make it, make a slider too for its opacity. Maybe I'll do that. I could do 2 sliders. I could do one for its size and one for its opacity. Let's see. Should be able to add more options here. I'll make another category for like controls, I don't know. Oh, what did I play this weekend? I feel like there was something I wanted to talk about. What did I play? I had a pretty busy weekend though. Made homemade mac and cheese yesterday. That was pretty great. Spent like 2 hours prepping ingredients though. Lighters. I'll just change this to like settings. Little to no impact. Performance. Duplicate. The 15 padding on top. On left. And here, 50 padding. Okay. Top 50 padding. Resolution of window. Let's do controls. It's not much controls, so I'll just do miscellaneous. Alright, I'll spell miscellaneous. If I can. Is that the right spelling? No, it's not. God damn it. Why did I put an I there? Alright, let's delete that. Delete. Async box. We want what? We want a crosshair opacity slider. Sensitivity slider. We want anything else to that? Not for now. I'm going to put a horizontal box here. Padding. It's really close to the edge. I don't like that. Let's do, which one is this? This will be the sensitivity, mouse sensitivity. How do I want to do that? So I could do like, you know, bigger values like -10 to 10 and then do step size of 1. But it would be kind of more abstract. I'd have to multiply it by some value. But I prefer that to like, well, I don't know. Maybe this is okay. I would like to make that bar larger though. Bar thickness. Oh, not that. Like the slider bar. Actually, well, this bar could be thicker too. I don't want to make the handle. Is that it? Really small. shit, I can't change it. Oh no, I can. 8 by 14. Is that really 8? I guess it is. Okay. Looks smaller than that. Because we're zoom plus 4. This, I'll show you what it'll look like. It's really small, or at least it looks really small. Yeah. Put some padding on the right here. All right, that looks okay. I don't want the color to be a bit. At least make it a bit more visible, right? Oh, there's so many colors. Like, here's the thing, do we multiply the... We have to multiply the sensitivity by something. Unless there's like a separate option for it, which there might be. It's not like game user settings. I don't know. We probably just have to multiply input on the character blueprint. Yeah, probably like here. Camera sensitivity. Make it a float. I don't mind the step sizes. But I'd have to normalize what we get. So I'd have to do... Get camera sensitivity, normalize to range, normalize a float. Range min would be -10. Does this clamp? Don't know if it clamps. We'll clamp it first, just in case there's any nonsense, right? We normalize to range and then we just multiply. We're gonna clamp this. That way if the player sets minimum, it isn't 0 and the player can't move at all. Yeah, we do that. And we lerp. we need the clamp then? No. What do we want the max to be? Let's put 5. Maybe that's crazy. You know what, we'll do 3. Then we need to do a multiply. Alright, let's do that. Make it look a bit nicer. Should work. Should work. Default sensitivity will be the same, so we will set that to... Yeah, 0 should do it. Well, not really, because if we lerp between 0.5 and 3, and we feed an alpha of 0.5, what is halfway? What is the midpoint between 0.5 and 3? Just be the average, right? It'll be 2.95 divided by 2. 1.475. Is that right? So we need to find out what 1 is. You know, halfway is... Let's do our math. 1 divided by 2.95. 0.338, so multiply that by... money? We have to get the normalized 0.339. I'm doing like the math backwards through this here. 0.339. That. Yeah, but what's the... What would be the number then? 0.339 between negative 10 and 10. There's 20 value. It wouldn't be divided. It's not multiplied. We have 20 steps. Just not supposed to who work on Thorgal and Night Wanderer games. Oh yeah? Also, did we schedule this week a meetup for lunch? Or was that some other day? I don't remember anymore. I feel like I've heard of Night Wanderer at least. Might have, yeah. I feel like we did, but I don't remember what day. I get 0.339. What was the 90s, 70s, 80s comic series? Damn, dude. Wouldn't it be 0.33? Wouldn't it be negative 3.39? Am I crazy? I mean, it's pretty close. But I think we should just make the lerp. I don't like how this is set up. Where's the studio based out of? Probably Warsaw, right? That sound familiar. Maybe not. Wonder who's running it. Wonder if I know any of them. Our own animation studio. I'm glad they got funding. Pretty cool. Good news. Yeah, that should work. Bug it. I'd like to bind that to the value on the slider. Get value. Snap showed me that. Yeah, that's the problem I thought it might be. Didn't I set this step to 1? I did. I set the step size to 1. Mouse uses step. Is that what I need to do? Yeah. You put a size. Yeah, let me wrap this with a size box real quick. That way it should be able to scale a bit larger without making the, yeah, it's kind of pushing it a little bit, isn't it? Make that box a bit bigger. I don't like chat about subtle series with people, but I don't think you've seen it still, and I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah, I'm still waiting. The Tile Man series to me was just kind of a... it was kind of meh. I don't know, maybe that's a hot take. I really have. Yeah, I guess it is. Looks a little bit further to the left. Sensitivity slider, we'll name it. I mean, you can spoil, I mean, it's just like, just RuneScape. I mean, would that be doable? Everything before the mage and range waves, I think would be pretty easy to do without taking damage. But the fire caves, the fight caves can be predicted. It is on a rotation, I believe. But I think that only applies to the spawns of Jad and, you know, then the golden major. It would just be a lot of luck, I think. Raise the arc in the wildy. Pretty easy to do without taking damage, though. More it's you hope a PKer doesn't show up, which thankfully I barely ever see PKers at Crazy Arc. Okay, that's 0. We need to change the size of this to hovered and disable. Let's see. 12 by 30. And copy the tint. Do a safe spotting it. It's a pretty good idea too. Shit. I've been doing some Cerberus lately. Just been kind of like casually getting through some kills when I have time. Bought a spectral spirit shield for it. God, it makes it, it's so much better. I'm not really a fan of Cerberus as a boss when if you don't have a spectral spirit shield, you have to tank so much goddamn damage from the spirits. It's like if you don't have this this item. Gonna make the best account you can without ever taking damage. If you ever takes damage, his password is instantly deleted. It's definitely a challenge. It is definitely a challenge. As I do what I do. Okay, I need to get the slider value. Get value. Get the player's actor. Is that the right one? Yeah. Set camera sensitivity. Should be it. I'll try it. 108 accounts. He's trying to do dwarf cannon. That sounds about right. We set this really low. It is definitely working. We set that really high. Definitely working. Okay, that works. The second slider we wanted to do was sensitivity box. How sensitive are you? Duplicate. Crosshair. Opacity. Having protection prayers is certainly, in my opinion, the most crucial. There's a lot of content you can do without taking damage simply by having protection prayers. An awful lot of content. Or having like potions and stuff too, right? Is it an Iron Man account? I assume it is. Would be hard to do, well, no, you could save spot, not chromatic dragons, you could save spot, no, okay, it is chromatic, you can't save spot metallic. I don't know, it's definitely not quick. You can save spot things for bones, but then getting to that level, I don't know. It just isn't quick. Did he do the Chaos Altar? It's like you could save spot like lava dragons or green dragons, and then run those bones over to Chaos Altar. It's obviously a lot of risk, but it is doable. Okay, this needs to be 0.5, minimum value 0, max value 1, step size 0.01. I'm gonna rename this. Get crosshair opacity value. It'll be get sensitivity value. Farm side classics and aggro and save spot at the heads. That's smart. That's a smart way to do it. Crosshair. Well, I should let you guys know that after we do this, I'm gonna spend about 2 hours maybe. We're gonna be playing Dragon's Dogma 2. The character creator will be making Yolanda and Becky in DD2. To the best of our ability. I am not very good at this stuff, but we will try. Gonna head to bed? Yeah, sleep well, man. Hope you're feeling better too. Hope you're doing better. And if you ever come back to OSRS, we can do some stuff. Crosshair opacity. get value. I'm going to round this value to the nearest hundredth. In order to do that, we need to get the value, multiply it by 100. Yes. We need to round it to, that should be the nearest, yes. And then we need to divide it by Jesus. I think I have a little bit of a cold. Should do it. I guess we'll see. It's 0.5 multiplied by 100, that's 50. Five. That's right. Is that not right? Am I crazy? Why are you doing that? Why is that fucking up? Just divide it. Why do you do this to me? Okay, now it's working. The hell? This is so weird. I'm starting to doubt myself, like, did I do it wrong? No, just that node was being a dick. There we go. Be kind of weird, but maybe that's with the step setting. Yeah, better now. Okay. That one will be pretty easy, though I want to... We need to set specifically when that crosshair should appear. I think it should appear in all instances except for when we are at the table. So we could add... Let me make a new widget. We'll make a new widget called Crosshair. Crosshair. Music, I need you to just relax a bit. It is Monday. I know you ladies really want to sing, but WBP Crosshair. This will be non-hit testable. Perfect. Size of, I think we did like 6 or something. .5 opacity. -10, let's anchor in the center. I also did some more Pacific Drive on the weekend too. If you guys want to watch that, it's up on YouTube. In 1080p 60. I'm actually curious how that looks for a game like that. I imagine it might be... bitrate might not be very great. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. It's not bad. Sometimes it's bad. Could be worse. And speaking of, I still haven't gotten that case for my computer. Call today. I couldn't call on the weekend. Okay, Crosshair. Now we need to go into the alchemy table and set up for its visibility. Cauldron checker. Logic when starting and ending alchemy. Reset HUD. Oops. Wait, what? Why is this here? Why do I get... Why am I calling a getter function for the alchemy table class in the alchemy table? What kind of stupid shit was I huffing when I saw that? Like, bro, just... You're here. You were at your destination. It's okay. We'll put that there. Let's do get... Hair. What did I name that image in the crosshair? Just image, great. UI crosshair. That. I could also just set its visibility. End alchemy. That's something in my throat today. We'll see if that works. Do. Yeah, that works. Okay, looks good. Last but not least, we need to actually send this value. Get value. You know, I just thought of a potential bug we have with the options. Let me see if it's actually a valid bug or not. First though, let me see if the opacity does change. Yes, it does. You can make it invis if you want, or fully opaque. Yeah, I just thought I can set it to 0 and close. It doesn't change. Yeah. Hey, Cusper. I almost need to like snapshot when this window opens what the current values are. And if the player presses close without pressing apply, we set everything back. Small bug, but I think worth fixing. Potato mode. Yeah, well, I'll just save the data. I think I do have, or no, I have VSync off by default. Personally, I like having VSync on by default. Shit. Try my cabin. Didn't have that issue? Which issue? My god, performance is so good on potato mode. This is how we'll ship the game. Looking just like this. It looks beautiful. Oddly enough, still looks better than new Pokemon games. Medium, high, ultra, epic. Something I have a new 5 brush build that needs about 5 GB of VRAM was killing this GPU. They're not only FPS. Yes, that is with VSync off, which is why, in my opinion, if you you should just have VSync on if you can get over 60 FPS. Otherwise, your GPU is going to work at 100% power to try and get as many frames as possible. The only cases which aren't really real cases, but if you have like G-Sync or something, right? But that's like an alternative to VSync. Case where you would want to have VSync off. The only case I would think is just to benchmark, right? So that you can see how many frames you can get during like high load. Because obviously if you have VSync on during a benchmark, you're always going to be capped at that VSync or lower. So you don't actually know if your computer is capable of, you know, going to like a higher refresh rate. But it's obviously going to depend on what you're playing the game on. If like I don't even know what these monitors refresh rate is. is MP241C. We have these monitors here. What's the refresh? Where's your specs? $75 Hz, so it's like anything over 75 FPS, it's not even gonna be visible. Yeah, 240 is crazy. I mean, trying to get 240 is ridiculous. At that point, if your refresh rate is that high, honestly, I think that your issue is not going to be getting the data to your screen fast enough. It's going to be having your brain process that data and result in clicks fast enough. I mean, our producer was saying that human brain can't really process anything close. I agree with the sentiment that the human brain, like the human eye can visually see differences between some of these frame rates, right? But at a certain point, a higher frame rate doesn't mean that your brain is going to process the image faster, right? I think there's specific wording that has to be used in this kind of context. Don't tell my brain what to do. Like, everybody can see the difference between 30 and 60, right? And probably most players can see the difference between 60 and 120. But you can feel the difference and see the difference, but does that mean that your brain can process that image and turn that into an actionable, like, let's say, click or button press faster? I agree it doesn't need to. I agree it doesn't need to. Having a smoother image is 100% better, right, in pretty much every case. But if you're going between, like, okay, 30 to 60, obvious difference. 60 to 120, I'd say less of a difference, but still a difference. Still a visible difference. 120 to 240, or even 240 to 500. I don't see it being that valuable. We are players. Hell yeah. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I wanted to set up that data saving. I was gonna like snapshot the settings when you load this up on, maybe not on Construct, but maybe just when made visible, make like a new function of like snapshot settings. No, I 100% agree. 60 to 120 is important for those types of games. But I think that after a certain point, you have diminishing returns, right? Just because, the average human response time will not get faster than a certain point And when you're, if you take 1 second, which is 1,000 milliseconds, you can start to make like 30 to 60 is a double gain, but at a certain point, the human's response time just is going to be capped. Even with the best players. And it's just not going to get... But even trained muscle memory can only get, I don't know. The fastest simple reaction time to a stimulus is about 100 milliseconds. But if you have 1,000, let's think of it this way, because this is how response time on your monitor is considered, right? You have 1,000 milliseconds in a second. So if you're running at 60 FPS, it's 16.6 milliseconds to render each frame, right? You double that, right? You have 120 FPS, you have 8.3 milliseconds to render each frame. But I think there's just at a certain point, the actual time of things happening in the game, the timing of things in the game doesn't speed up in this case. It's just how fast does it render that frame. And I think, yes, getting that information to you sooner is better, but at a certain point, it's just such diminishing returns that I don't really see it resulting in anything significant. I see the difference of like a pro player on 120 FPS and a pro player on 240 FPS probably is negligible. There are cases, but those are usually with engines that are network desync is one, or with engines that are have their physics tied to the FPS, right? But that isn't too super common anymore to see those types of games. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Why snapshot all these different settings? Make a structure, like a settings structure. What's the VSync on? Yeah, I mean, if you think of it this way, like your GPU has a lifetime. The more electricity you shoot through it, and the hotter it gets, you're wearing down the components. So you don't want to put unnecessary pressure on your GPU or on anything in your computer that doesn't need to be done. And I don't know why any player would want screen tearing it anyway, right? Because the moment that you have your monitor refresh rate different from your game refresh rate, or your game, your FPS, let's just say, to keep it simple, you're going to have irregularities in how fast your screen is trying to update that information before the next frame is, before your computer is saying, hey, render the next frame now. I know you're not finished with rendering this one, but render the next one. And so you get screen tearing and your image looks like shit. So capping your FPS to the refresh rate will ensure that, in this case, if your game is 60 FPS and your refresh rate on your monitor is 60 FPS, it's refreshing in time with your monitor. So your monitor is going to finish one frame, and by the time it's finished, the next one will come in. VSync shouldn't cause screen tears unless you cannot reliably render 60 FPS or whatever you've set your VSync to. That is the only time. That would either be that that would usually mean that your GPU can't, or your rig can't keep up with 60 FPS. That's the only time. And some bad software implementations of VSync can cause input lag, but it's really not common with newer engines. It's not necessarily the case. VSync won't push the new frame only when it's fully rendered. Depending on the implementation of VSync. So hardware VSync is better than software VSync in almost every case too. So if possible, like disable VSync in all of your games, but then force it as a default in like your NVIDIA control panel or Adrenaline. I don't believe there's any case where software VSync is better performant than hardware VSync. And then of course you have G-Sync and stuff, right? Which is even better. I just realized that, speaking of VSync, my editor has uncapped frame rate right now. I think I did that to test FPS, but I don't need to do that anymore. Where did I do that? Was it editor or was it project settings? I don't know, who cares? I was remember how many good games are releasing this year. Yeah, there are a lot of good games. Last year was pretty great, and this year is pretty great too. I'm pretty surprised. I'm excited for Dragon's Dogma 2 though. We'll be making Becky and Yolanda today on stream once I get done with this stuff. How do I want to snapshot the settings? If I make a structure, I'm going to have to update the structure every time I want to. Oh shit. Make cat mommy? I've seen some pretty incredible characters be made with it. And then we have, what, No Rest for the Wicked? Was that what it was called? Next month? What was it called? Yeah, No Rest for the Wicked next month. I think a game just... There's some other... Was it Rise of Ronin? Is that only on consoles? It wasn't just Ronin, was it? Rise of the Ronin. It's on PS5. Shit, I don't think I have enough money for all this. I'll wait to see reviews of that. Better made Leon Kennedy from RE. That's pretty great. I made a guy yesterday I put it up on general chat. I made this guy. Supreme posture and overlord. Yeah, thought you guys would like him. You should see it with the armor on too, because it also bends the armor in the front there. It looks so fucking ridiculous. One more time, what do you think about Helldivers? I think Helldivers is very well made. It's a lot of fun. I think the developers have been very responsive, and the CEO of the company, of Arrowhead Studios, has been a very value and gameplay driven individual. The gameplay loop is pretty great. I'm excited to see more mission types, more weapons, just some, keep adding depth and variety to the game. I think that the Joel, who's in charge of the pacing of the world and the live service content, I guess you could say, is the exact right way to do that kind of game. And we can see that it seems to have a very good impact on the game, and it seems to be very well received by the community. I haven't seen any flaws of it so far, of having this person in charge of it. I would never have predicted that Helldivers 2 would be this great of a live service game, but I think that the game is going to have a significant amount of longevity if they can keep this up. Oh, is this your character, Lazy Fangs? That is one hell of a cat mommy, that's for sure. I'm excited. I hope my CPU in here can run it properly. Otherwise, we'll play it at home. I don't know. Proposing this kind of approach in TL. Which TL? I also saw this potions game. Snuffkin. R1. I mean, as great of an idea as that is, oh boy. That would require a game to be produced properly, Casper. I think I should just make a structure and store as a structure. The only problem is that requires the game to be always online at some point, and that would sit pretty poorly with players. Data, let's see, new folder, options. Let us make options structure. Now let me put this over on this side of the screen. Okay, we have a string first. This is resolution. Window mode. Dice Folk is a game I found yesterday. It's pretty neat. Dice Folk. yeah, that really is pretty recently, didn't it? Roguelike deck builder. It's pretty chill. I like it. Nice casual game. PC explode. Desync. Julian. I think we stored as vsync on, right? You crazy? I'm gonna keep it consistent. Oh, it is a... I'm stupid. I'm like, why is that not opening? It's open on my other screen. Do 2 floats. Mouse sensitivity. Crosshair opacity. I mainly just want a structure so I can store the data within there as something more ironclad than just some like arrays of integers and shit that could get fucked up. Just be easier to store it as a structure. I think the anti-aliasing method is 0124, but it is still an integer. Everything in graphics quality should be stored as integers, if I'm not mistaken. Should be. Should be. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 integers here. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A method, FXAA quality, foliage, global illumination, post-processing, global Illuminati, reflections, shading, shadows, texture, streaming pool is different than the hot tub section on Twitch. View distance, visual effects. Cutsper, what do you think? You know, this is just like an open question, right? Like, I don't want any specific answer, but what do you think the difficulty would be in prototyping the Nightmare Lake? What do you think you and I would have to learn in order to prototype some of this stuff? If you're not busy, you might be working. Hello. Early big to make. Did you catch that question, Cuthbert? Were you busy? Selected option. What do you think we would have to learn, you and I, to make the Nightmare Lake prototype? I think the amount that I would have to learn is significantly more than you, for instance, but I'm just curious what might we have to do? But I ain't smart. But do we need I don't think we need animations, right? To prototype, like we can just have cubes fighting each other and, you know, cylinders, capsules. It certainly wouldn't look pretty, right? But it would. We wouldn't need anything other than just different colored boxes or capsules or something. Mouse sensitivity, it, and crosshair opacity, it. Value. Design would be important, yeah. Though we would just kind of embrace chaos at the start. Do you think it would be a project that would be beneficial to prototype in separate projects? Like, this is the one for the town building, this is the one for, you know, group fighting, I don't know. Get selected. I think I'll just get selected index in this case for each of these. Right? Okay. Yeah, I'm curious. We can do like barest little bits of pre-production work on this, I guess, just to get a good sense of if this is meant to be something we want to work on in the future. What are the biggest challenges? Yeah, we don't have to be 100% sure on anything yet. We don't apply options. That's the string. Yeah, no worries. No worries. It's not something we would want to work on anytime soon, so. I just know we'd kind of started to think about it, but didn't get super far. Yeah, it would be pretty cool to see you finish that. 3, 4, 5. Foliage combo box. GI. G.I. Joe. They still make G.I. Joe action figures? They must, right? Reflections, shading. Plus we'll have it done in like prototype proof of concept really till Spooktober. That would be nice. Wah, wah, wah. Texture, streaming pool. View distance. Visual effects. Promote to variable. Snapshotted settings. Return. Let me think if I want to do this. Never have a confirmation button be red. Yeah, I try not to. Would you fuck up? I was trying to do green on my confirmations. Skipped a reward in a roguelike. Jesus Christ. I think what I'll do is I'll tie the apply buttons enabling to the as setting changed. In fact, I won't make it a function. I will just do a Boolean binding. Sorry. Ugh. I don't know what's going on with me today. Coughing and sneezing like crazy. At the end of every apply settings, we will set this to false. And every time something changes, I will set that to true. Presets are okay, we just want to do it for everything that isn't one of the preset buttons. Yeah, that is a pretty big rip. Or at least like have a confirmation window, right? I mean, I would see both, right? I wouldn't make a confirm button red unless the entire UI was consistent with that coloring. But I would also, if you're trying to do something that is just so obviously not the default action for that type of game, like skipping a reward in a roguelike, like who really does that on a frequent basis? I would have a confirmation button. Are you sure you want to skip this? That would be my my hot take on that. Yeah, that'll cover that. VSync is taking care of mouse sensitivity and crosshair opacity. On value changed. And on any of the anti-aliasing, FXAA, foliage, global illumination, post-processing. Reflections, shading, shadows, streaming pool, I could just have these hook up to the same node. Looks like a monster. This isn't perfect yet, but this is the start of at least fixing some of these. Yeah. Basically, I want to do a snapshot every time the player let's think. When would I want to do this? I suppose every time the player presses apply, because we start off the game by applying the default settings, right? And that way, if the close button is pressed and has setting changed is true, we need to take the snapshotted settings and apply those. Let's see. I could reconfigure this then to pull from the snapshot instead of directly from the values. Maybe. Break. Window mode is being stored as a index. It selected index. Okay, we'll start with those. Do any of you watch Josh Strife Hayes by chance? Because if you do, he has just started his first ever playthrough of New Vegas. So, I don't know, just thought I'd pass that info along. He's doing a very cursed playthrough. Where when he levels up, he only puts one skill point in all of his skills instead of... You know, normally like in Fallout, you know, in New Vegas, you get skill points on level up, and you put those into skills to try to get them to like the 25, 50, 75, 100 marks, right? Because those are usually when you get bigger perks for those skills. Instead of doing that, he decided to put one skill point in every skill for each level that he gets. It's the absolute most cursed way to level up. And it's also pretty funny. Yeah, we'll separate these sections a bit as we attempt to reconfigure this function. A method. It looks a bit wonky, but it works. Okay, let's replace these one by one. Foliage, GI, post-processing, reflections, not the song sung by Mulan, shading, shadows, textures. Although I really like Mulan, the original movie. Hey Bartosz, we fixed your bug that you found. I never want you to find bugs in my game ever again, please. Play for a few minutes too, that's not the last one? Wonderful. What other bugs did you find? Because I'm fixing up bugs today, so... if you have a laundry list, we will get to them. We play my game. Need to play again and finally complete first objective. You didn't even finish the first objective. Bartosz, it's so easy. Look. Collect. 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 It's hard, yeah. And no spoilers. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Whole weekend of VR, Jesus. Doing 360s on rocks. Can you give me at least one bug that you found so I can fix it today? Did you add crosshair? Yeah, I did. I added a crosshair, and you can change the opacity of it. It's a little. Here, I'll look in the sky so you can see it. So you can change the opacity. And I added mouse sensitivity. If two vendors don't need no crosshair. Yeah. Distance visual effects. Now I can see where I am will be easier to complete first objective. Really? You have a problem seeing the center of your screen? And you play fucking like Valorant and shit? You probably could. I don't see why not. Gonna hug BDB. Check effects, sensitivity slider. Okay, are there any other bugs though, Bartosz? Or is my game bug free? Oh, you had turning of your pieces? Yeah, that would make sense. I got weekend off. I'll try to play later. Okay. If it's bug free, I pre-order. Challenge accepted. Although I do think, you know, to some extent our game is pretty bug free. Just note that when you play Bartosz, some of the objectives you can complete out of order for the tutorial, and some of them I specifically force you to do them even if you've already done them before. There are no bugs. How do the flowers pollinate? There are bugs. There are, see? Look. There's bees. Do you like the bees? I just collected the bees. The bees are gone. These look like fireflies. They look like slightly transparent circles, colored yellow, if you must know. Tower lacks collision? Where's the tower lack? Tower doesn't lack collision. These have collision by default. Oh. Maybe it does. What? How did we never run into that? The fuck? But it's the same static meshes. put an Easter egg in there. How about that? Make me paranoid now. No, I want you to say bugs. I want you to tell me. Maybe they were set off? I just need the... Where's my collision? No collision. It's better. Yeah, he's not gonna pre-order now. Well, granted, this isn't the build game, so... Okay. Honestly, in potato mode, the game at nighttime kind of gives me... This kind of gives me old school RPG vibes. What are the things like collision? Okay, so I know for sure that there are things that I want to lack collision, like ingredients and bushes. Obviously rocks and stumps should all have collision. Trees, the logs and shit. I think there are some ingredients that I kept collision on where it made sense, like flowers. It doesn't make sense for there to be collision. But potentially the... I can double check, but I think that the like crystals and stuff have collision. And that is intended. I will double check. Yeah. Crystals and shit have collision. You have an unstuck. An unstuck would be good to have. I can add that. Just like teleport back to hut button or something. That'll be really, really easy to add. Yeah, I can do that. I did make sure, especially because there were some cases where you could get stuck on like the rocks here. I do believe I fixed up all the collision to make that so it wouldn't happen, but there may be instances where it could still occur. I jumped around here for a while and I wasn't able to get stuck permanently, but we can add something. Yeah, but I don't mind it. I don't mind that for a prototype. Like I have a, you know, in the prototype build, you guys can cheat your ingredients to 99. I don't actually care. You just debug, add 99 to all ingredients. Then you'll have it here. I'll be adding cheat codes to my game too. Through some way. Probably it would disable achievements, yeah. But I'm going old school cheat codes. There will be a teleport in the full game. I do plan to have a teleport back to your hut, mechanic both in the world and probably in through like a potion or something. I think what we talked about is you can teleport back from anywhere, but you can only teleport to like some waystones or whatever that we put in the game that you have to clear up and unlock. So you first have to explore a place to be able to fast travel back to it, but then you can travel back to your hut through any means. Or from anywhere with a specific potion that you make. Because, like, you know, if like a new NPC shows up at your hut and you're super far away, I think it's just kind of unfun to force the player to walk all the way back and then try to go back to the place they were, so, yeah. Broom flying. You aren't a witch. Pet riding. Yeah, you can ride your slime. What did I want the default settings to be? A medium. I'll ride it, yeah. I bet. Well, it should snapshot. Oh, it's gonna apply the settings first. Yeah, we just need to apply. Resolution 1280, 720. Window mode, I think, is be 2 default or 1. Nope, just 0. VSync on. We will leave it on. Mouse sensitivity. Did you upload the last version with crosshair? No, I just did that today. I won't be able to make a new build until I get home, unfortunately. It should be 0.5. AA method was TAA by default, which I think is 2. Yeah, and I think these are all going to be 2 for everything else. Why is that 3? 0, 1, 2, 3. Blah, 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 blah. Apply. Weird. Need to go. Good luck. Thank you so much, man. Good luck to you too. To answer my question, yes. I have not uploaded it yet. I'm just doing this today, so I haven't made a new build yet. Sadly. You can tape a small piece of paper to the center of your screen. That will mimic it. I should apply the settings first and then snapshot them. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. Why would it still say Ultra even though it shouldn't be at Ultra? Okay, it isn't. Okay, I know what the issue is. It's well, it's weird because it's setting the selected index, but it's not updating the selected index. Yeah, fucking Toriyama dying. It's crazy. Now we can never remove that. Good stuff. Artosh. There better be a limit on the number of uses of that. There better be a cooldown. Look, it just didn't even play it this time. You've broken it. Works for you. It sets the selected index, but why doesn't it update it visually? If you really think I'm a coward, you can spam the fart reverb. Who is high? It should. It doesn't update the selected options? No, because if you set preset, it sets the selected index. Thank you, Lazy Fangs. This is gonna get the VOD muted, but worth it. I love you ろくに言わない口下手でほんまに不器用なのにどうしてさよならは言えたのダメだねダメよダメなのよあんたが好きで好きすぎてどれだけ強いお酒でも歪まない思い出がバカみたい Legendary song.
切なさの夜風浴びる一人になって3年が過ぎ街並みさえも変わりましたなのにどうして未練だけ置き去りほんまにろくな男やないその日の指輪外しますざまみろせいせいするわいい加減待っててもバカみたいざまみろせいせいするわなんなのよこの涙バカみたい
I think that spoke for itself. I don't think there's anything I can add to that. God damn it, lazy bags. I can't even type right now. That is just a legendary song. And now we can see if that song gets our video blocked. It shouldn't, right? Kyuryu's beautiful voice would not get this video blocked, would it? Thank you so much for the bits, though. I made sure to put the full song on there because I think that's worth it for the price. Check VC. Kind of fucked this up a bit, haven't I? we're gonna be living in a pretty sad, sad era here, unfortunately, with a lot of very well-known people dying. I mean, shit, how old is Morgan Freeman at this point, right? I mean, David Attenborough is 97 years old. Yeah. Yeah, they are. He only has so much time to finish CC. I mean, technically that's true. You're not wrong. I am dying, chat. My legacy be unfulfilled. Kind of one of the reasons that Frieden kind of hits me so hard as an anime. Because, you know, a lot of the reason like Himo lived and stuff is he wanted to be remembered. And I don't think that that's inherently a egotistical thing, right? I guess it depends what you want to be remembered for. But I want to be remembered for making games that people loved and, you know, people enjoy. That's what I want my legacy to leave. To catch up, yeah. How far are you in it right now? I watched some more of it with my mom last night. Good freedom at freedom. Like the fake one? Try keeping it vague. I obviously I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but I don't think it's a crazy notion to think that there's some action coming up past the episodes that you've seen. And yeah, without spoilers, the show is consistently good in every aspect, including the action. And so the next episodes you see, I have high hopes. How big the crate, yeah. You know, I think when I first watched the show, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be slice of life stuff, right? And I don't think that the action is gonna be that crazy, and it certainly doesn't need to go crazy, right? Except every single action scene has had exceptional animation, and every non-action scene has had exceptional animation. I mean, the dancing scene with Stark and Fern, like, Stark putting on his coat had a higher animation budget than half of the anime that release every year. You know which scene I'm talking about? It was like the Mushoku Tensei bread scene. Is it? It was this. It was like, And even the bite too. It's like absurd. I was surprised that they fully animated the dance, and I was surprised that the dance looked really good. Someone had a fetish for bread. Yeah, the dance in Freedom was just... I was trying to look for like little faults or little areas where they might have tried to save some budget. And even if there were some, then the next scene would be just some absurd like waving of her dress or her hair shifting. I don't know. God, the show is so good. There's a reason why on the it even went up. It even went up in a score. That it's #1, and it's held that spot now. Where usually most shows don't hold this spot against Fullmetal Alchemist. Sometimes like a show gets up there, like meme, like Bocchi, right? And Bocchi the Rock was a good show, but you know, it's hard to compare it against some of these big names, right? But Frieren has consistently remained on the top and has even gone up in score. And you know what? At the very least so far, it definitely deserves to be up there. It is just, every single episode is wonderful. It's wholesome, and I think it's, I mean, this is speculation, right? Like I have not read ahead. I speculate that all of this is leading up to something larger. You know, we have the tournament. Tournament arcs are great for bringing in new cast, and I feel like there is going to be some challenge that is going to require these recurring characters to show up again and lend their aid. But it's building up their character in a really nice way of letting us learn more about their backstory and their faults, their worries, their successes, in a way that a lot of like shonen who have these tournament arcs, they don't do. They'd rather show it through battle than through wholesome scenes. And I like that this almost feels like the opposite of those, where instead of just having constant battles to learn about these characters, we get to just see them in side quests and stuff, right? That's more of what I enjoy personally. I'm one of those weird people that if you give me canon slice of life in some shonen show, I love it. Usually the episodes that people call filler, even though they are perfectly canon episodes, you know, they're... I like those a lot because they build up the characters, right? And I really like character building stuff, or training arcs in anime, beach episodes. I actually, depending on how the beach episode is done, I can really enjoy a beach episode. I'm not a huge fan of non-canon filler because usually it just won't be remembered by the show, right? But canon filler is something I 100% love, and I wish that shows like Naruto actually did that more. And I feel like early Naruto, early Dragon Ball, they had those kinds of episodes, but then as you moved away from that, it just became about like battling, and it just kind of there just wasn't character growth in the same way for most of the characters. Differences between Avatar show and animated series are huge. So the show was releasing episodic, right? It wasn't every single episode released at once. Or how was it being done? Were they released all at once, or was it released one at a time? I think. Already finished watching? Okay, so the whole first season is done of the show. And does it end with the same place that the season 1 of the show ends? After the Northern Water Tribe? Where did this season end in the live action? Yeah, that's the same as season 1 or book 1 in the animated. And how was it? How was the first season? They mixed a bunch of shit from the other books. Were there any more examples compared to like the previous time that we talked? Or you can remind me too, because I forget shit all the time, so. When I watched the animated again, they definitely made the Netflix adaptation more mature. Yeah, I didn't really get their reasoning behind that. You know, it was the same thing with like Naruto, right? Where even like Dragon Ball to some extent, where part of the enjoyment, and I mean, I'm sure there's other shows right like this, right? Where part of the enjoyment is the kids acting like kids and being thrown into impossible odds and having the mentors and adults around them help them grow and mature to be able to handle this staggering weight of the responsibilities, right? And especially with Aang, who is the least mature of the group, has to fill some extremely large shoes, right? No character had actual growth. The base difference is that in the animated, Katara was already a very strong bender on her own, and in Netflix she was a helpless whiner up until a certain point. Yeah, Katara up until she got to the Northern Water Tribe was very lacking compared to Aang. And part of that was because he was Avatar, but also part of that is because he's an airbender, and it was very easy for him to learn water bending because a lot of the movements are very similar, and the way that you control that element. But Earth being the opposite of air was why it was difficult. In the show, she could barely move some water. But she was kind of like that in the animated, right? Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure that she couldn't even get her water whip very accurately. Maybe we think of the same thing. We just have different views on that. Distance visual. So she's even worse in the Netflix show. Because she wasn't even good until she trained under... Well, she was pretty decent until she trained under Paku, but then with like the waterbending scroll and stuff. She had trouble with her water whip in like the first few episodes of the show. Paku didn't want to train her. Well, Paku doesn't want to train her in the animated show either. Until he sees the necklace from Katara's grandmother. Wait, what? He never did it afterwards? Oh my god, you made me spill. So how does she even learn waterbending then? Because that was like how she learned how to be a good waterbender, was that she trained under Master Paku. They fought Paku up their ass, then girl power. What? She just believed in herself? Like the fight between Katara and Paku is great in the animated show, in my opinion. Change your ways, you white male. I mean, I kind of like the way that they framed it in the show, personally, like the animated show, where it is their culture that women learn healing and men learn battle. I mean, that's... You know, say what you want, yes, it might be a bit old-fashioned, but it wasn't that Paku was necessarily sexist, it was more that I think he just had a stick up his ass. I think he was just mad that he got friend-zoned. They might have made him appear more sexist, yeah. Because... He obviously, I think it's just like the culture to some extent, and they do it to survive, right? I mean, they're trying to fight against the fire, or defend against the Fire Nation, right? So they stick to these roles, but... Because if everybody chose what they wanted to be, then you probably would have more of one than the other, and if you're trying to survive, you know, you need to have that kind of equal balance. I'm sure not every guy wanted to fight either. I'm sure a lot of men probably wanted to heal so that they didn't have to get killed on the front lines, but yeah. I just train for both and then specialize. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't ever like detailed in the show why. It's kind of like similar to some education systems here in Europe that I've seen, where you have to, at a very early age, kind of like choose a path to go towards with school. Like I think there's like a math track here in Poland and some like art track or whatever. I don't know. But I can understand that for survival purposes, specializing, I don't know why they did it for genders, but maybe they were trying to make maybe they're trying to make like a comparison between, you know, like gender roles with work and home life, and in this world it's bending and healing, as a way to like teach children that these kinds of roles can be harmful if forced upon people. I imagine that's probably what it was kind of meant for. Activity slider. I think the animated show had a really good way of teaching kids about these kinds of like issues you realize as you grow up you don't always know as a kid, but in a way that didn't seem like it was pandering necessarily. So you just can't be look at Toph. Toph is an absolute beast. Yeah, she's in book 2. Do we know who they're gonna cast as Toph yet? Or is there even going to be a season 2 of the show? Has it been renewed? I don't know if we know yet. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of answer. Renewed up to season 3. Okay, so it should handle the entire series then. They basically confirmed that all the series is going to be adapted. Oh, wonderful. This will be it. Diana Tsoi. It says Diana for Toph. I don't know. I think she's more like it was when Nathan Fillion wanted to be Nathan Drake, and he was in like some live action. I think it's Nathan Drake. He looked pretty decent too, I think. I mean, they fucked up that Uncharted movie, to be honest. It was the same kind of shit they pulled from every single movie, or every single game to make one movie, and then they just mashed it together in this just mess of a film. Why do they... They can just always fuck it up. They always fuck it up. Every time. I think the presets should just... feel like I'm doing this in the worst way possible. Oops. What did I press? Select. There was rocket launcher getting fixed. What was the issue with him? It's supposed to have AoE. Would be nice. Higher difficulty patrol spawn rates are coming down. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed playing at higher difficulties, but the pacing of missions, the difficulty seemed to, I don't know. Yeah. It's almost at a point where it feels good. It is what I'm thinking. It's hard to define. I'd have to play more and just sit down and think about it, but they need to take a look at like a game like GTFO, a very communications-based co-op game, and employ some of the methods that I think it's 10 Chambers does to encourage that kind of communication and talking. Spoilers about the next faction. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm watching it closely because I think it's still at a tipping point where some bad decisions could lead it down one path and some good decisions could lead it down another. You need to do higher diff to get the samples. Yeah, it really is, like it. I obviously agree with like the difficulty feeling of the higher difficulties, and I'm trying to think of what my main gripe is. I don't mind the fast pace. I think just to some extent enemy spawns are a bit too much. Armored enemies are still a little bit too annoying to deal with. And because of the constant pacing, it's easy to get into a point where you are constantly just trying to catch up. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Like the moment that you get rid of one bug hole, another one just pops up. And I don't mind that during certain periods. But it's like a constant 30 to 40 minute, there's no rest at all. And it's really draining on the gameplay when that's what, like, a 2-hour session is, you know, like 1.5 hours of constant stress. I don't mind the indefinite reinforcement, but I think how would I do it as if I was a designer? I think I would have like random and non-random spawns, but I would also try to encourage players to have ways to prevent reinforcements from occurring. Like there is some of that in when fighting the automatons, right? Where you can shoot the ones that are going to call in with a flare a dropship. I mean, Left 4 Dead does this too with their game manager AI or whatever they call it. I forget the name of it. Where the game, you know, determines how well you're doing and how many zombies you've killed recently, and can spawn in random hordes or specials depending on that. But if you're having a bad streak of luck, it will kind of hold off on that a little bit. You know, it adapts to you. Yeah, it's because yeah, it is. Yeah, that's exactly how what I feel too. It's just we were just running and another bug hole spawned, and then guess what? We ran 5 more feet, another bug hole spawned. And that's fine. I would rather have that occur during objectives though, where something is getting done. It's a trade-off, right? Defend, do, and fight. Rather than just, you know, you're running halfway across the map and you waste like 5 reinforcements because it's just the game just decided to throw a million chargers at you, and yeah, I don't know. That's why I think if they go this way, the game's good. If they go this way, the game's bad. That's kind of what I'm feeling with it. I think that works. Think that's working? Think that's working as intended. That was a mess. The last thing I want to add before we jump over to Dragonstock, my 2 character creator, is the return to hut button, the quick debug. This should be pretty easy. And they're kind of in a bind. Initially they were supposed to go human game masters modders overseeing games and tweaking during the gameplay. That's a ridiculous scope. The scope they have now, that can't be done anymore, obviously. Yeah, and with new environment bullshit, it's even harder. I think they need to. I think they need to make a Left 4 Dead type of AI during the game, which isn't too terribly difficult to make, but they do need a designer who is very good at predicting how players are going to cheese that AI and find some ways to put some anti-cheese in. Yeah, I do like the new environmental effects, but it contradicts the current gameplay, which the higher difficulty you get, it's just a non-stop stress fest that even with a really good group of people, it's really hard to fight against. It's hard to make it for this kind of game. You have too many variables, variant strength. Not really. I think you can base it purely on factors of, are the players just completing objectives and kiting enemies? If so, how can we slow that? If that's not the gameplay that we want, how can we slow the player down so that they are forced to be more strategic about how they approach objectives? You know, because I think that the game wants to be the kind of game where you stop before an objective like a big bug nest and you set up the way that you want to take it down. But when they're just constantly spawning shit tons of enemies on you, you have no time to do that. And it almost becomes the de facto meta to run in, throw stratagems, run out, don't kill, because the moment you stay back, you're going to get killed. And I don't think that that's very fun. I don't mind it at times, right? Where even in Left 4 Dead, where you maybe wanted to do a little bit of kiting just to get them grouped up or something, and then throw like a Molotov. But a lot of the game, especially on like a hardcore survival difficulty, which I played a lot of in Left 4 Dead 2, it was about strategic, being in the right place to defend against a horde at the right time with the right weapons. Yeah, that's true. It is narrow, yes. That's true. I mean, I would love to take a stab at designing that system with a group of designers. Creating systems like that is something I really love doing, and I'm pretty good at creating anti-cheese in games. I'm pretty good at it. It's right to their Twitter. Don't tempt me. Debug. Teleport to hut. Honestly, should be really easy to implement this. And then I'm gonna get a refill of my drink and go to the bathroom. And we can do DD2. Dragon's Dogma 2, not Darkest Dungeon 2. On release, I'm going to get actor of class. What do we call it? Waypoint or something? Is it waypoint? Yeah. Hit player character. Set world location. Like Where's a teleport? Oh, okay. Guess there is. Get world location. And I'm just gonna keep the well, what is the? No, we could do it. We could get the rotation as well. Get world transform. Blitz. It does it after. Going to because the game is paused. Let's do it that way. Wonderful. Oh, because I wanted to copy this one. Wrong code block. Getting the right rotation though. Why is that? Honestly, it's fine. Fine, as long as it sets the right location. Who cares? It's good to me. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I will, God, I've so many people watching now. Where'd you guys come from? I just looked at my viewer count. Hello, guys. I would have done something more interesting if I knew you guys were... Okay, quick scatter. Quick! No lurking. Do you think that there is a... Okay, there has to be. In the history of Twitch, there has to have been some point where some streamer has gotten upset at the lurkers, right? There's no lurking allowed in this channel. If you're gonna be a member of this channel, you have to type. It's had to have happened once, right? $5. It's kind of the same thing, right? Like if you want to type in this chat, you have to be a subscriber. It has the same energy. You're all just a bunch of broke boys. What, you can't afford $30 cookies? How expensive were those cookies? Were they like $27 or something? Some absurd amount that could feed us here in Poland for a week. Easily. Something like that. If somebody remembers the price of those cookies, please let me know, because that was a wild clip. Do I want to test this? I mean, I didn't change anything related to the logic, so... Okay, was it 27? Was it actually $27? I thought it was more like 15. Nighttime. Nighttime looks good. Very loud. That does remind me, we need to add some sounds to our game, especially for like collecting and walking around. I gotta think about that. I gotta have to make sure we have at least like physical materials on the ground here. Lamp for the player. Well, like a lamp hanging around the on the side of their hip or something. Max Gamma, yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, the stream is pretty dark too. The nights, I don't think the nights are too dark, but they do get darker when there's like cloud coverage on the moon and stuff. It does get pretty dark, doesn't it? I do want darker nights, but it is a bit too dark. Is there 2 minutes? Well, this isn't a moon so much as it is a large planet object that I wanted to put in the sky because it looked cool. That's what it is. Dark Raptor. Yeah, okay. Rain and thunderstorm make it very, very dark. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the player... Okay, I will say this. I don't believe it will rain and snow when you're playing the prototype. Was it much huger? Yeah, reflects less light than the moon. Does it? It doesn't reflect less light. Okay, well, okay, I get what you mean, but yes. Look, just let it happen, okay? The reason that's in the sky is because I looked and I said, it would be really cool if we had that in the sky. Is it Earthman? I'll show you exactly what it is. I will show you. It is a giant sphere with the material. In fact, I think it has collision. Yes. So you can walk on the moon. One small step for alchemy, one large step for cringe. Oh, here we go. We're dying. We're all dying, chat. Moon landing, any percentage. Here we go. It's very slow. We are very high up. It is. Look, just because you guys are upset with this, I will do this. Okay? There. Is this what you guys wanted? Maybe where's my nighttime? There. Where's the logical consistency now? It is kind of it actually it kind of looks cool, I will say. It's actually kind of cool. I get an eye opening there and I'll shit myself. That's pretty true. If we ever make that that kind of roguelike game where you have that, okay, like the card battler, right? And then you go into the dungeon. You build the dungeon with the card game, and then you go in the dungeon and you complete it, and then that like the game master like hovers over the table. It would have the same kind of vibes as that. During the demo, make it slowly approach the land and turn. That'd be wild. Same vibes as this? Yes. That is exactly the same vibes. I could also make like I could make Blue Dick Boy and have him be just massive in size. How big can I make Blue Dick Boy? Where is Blue Dick Boy? I hid him underneath the road somewhere. Where did I put him? Oh, there he is. Okay, so I will make a copy of him. And we're gonna set his scale to like 10,000. Oh my god, look at the size of his dick now. His dick is larger than the world. He will penetrate you from the heavens. Oh, he is falling in the sky. Look, this is Attack on Titan right here. I've never seen this show, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly what it's like, right? What does he look like at night? Oh, see, now that's scary. Now that's just wild. Yeah, that's a horror movie right there. Yeah, the lightning really sells it. Can I make that arrow visible? I should be able to. Can't set the oh, it's a base. I can't set that. Well, I could maybe through the event graph. Maybe. It's begin play. Set it will set the visibility and hidden in game. Did I delete him on exit? No. It isn't updating. His dick's not there. Kind of sad. Oh well. Well, we tried it. Can't say I didn't try. It's a good proof of concept for the DM hovering, but yeah, it is, actually. I'd really love to proof that game. It'd be fun. Oh, I don't need to save that. There's no saving that. Okay. Well, I think that's a pretty good set of changes for now. I want to jump over to Dragon's Dogma 2 Character Creator. And we're going to make our Arisen and our Pawn for DD2. So if you guys are interested in that, stay around. We're going to be remaking Becky and Yolanda from our Dragon's Dogma 1 playthrough. If I can find a image of them. They're a pretty beautiful couple. Gotta be here somewhere. Oh yeah, here they are. Here's the duo. This is Becky. She is Yolanda's queen. He will do anything for her, but she doesn't really love him. It's a great clip. I need to save that clip. So we will be remaking Yolanda and Becky. In fact, I'm going to open this up and keep it in a new tab, so we have a reference point. Okay, so give me a few minutes. I'm going to run to the bathroom, and let me rephrase this so that it makes sense. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then I'm going to go to the kitchen and refill it in the kitchen. I will not be going to the bathroom and refilling this in the bathroom. Go fill it up in the bathroom. I mean, okay, so if I got the lemon flavored one, I could go into like one of the stalls, make some noise with like the crinkling of the plastic, right? And come out with it fully filled with the lemon flavored water. And just see if, just say nothing. I'll walk past other people and I'll just say nothing. Yeah, give me guys 1 second. And I will say, if you like the stream, if you like what you're watching, please consider giving us a follow. I'm not going to run ads on break because I don't like ads. Nobody likes them. So give me 1 second. I will be right back. Do you guys want to watch some aquarium while I'm gone? Aquarium. 4K. Get a bit of apple juice. Foams, it's sellable. Oh my god, it's a great idea. Alright guys, I'll be right back. And back, immersion mode off. Immersion ruined. Let's do lime flavored. I want to do lime flavor. I just had strawberry flavor, so we gotta do lime flavor. Or we can just. I can also just drink soplica, but I don't know. I remember this tasting better than it does because it. Oh my god, the aftertaste of soplica Vishnivka is god awful. I gotta mix that in with something. Hey Lee the Beagle, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. I'm playing Taxi Life on the weekend. I've been looking at the Steam forums for it. Okay, I love Vishnivka. I love Vishnivka, but I don't think Soplica Vishnivka is very good. Or at least it used to be better from my memory. The aftertaste is absolutely horrible. Yeah. That's mainly what I'm finding. Maybe I need to buy some... No, I'm telling you that the aftertaste of Soplica Vishnivka is really bad. I don't know if they changed something. It's not good anymore. You're doing okay? That's good to hear. It's a Monday, right? We're doing the best we can on Monday, right? There's a shop here in Kraków, like Regionalne Alkohole, and they serve, well, regional alcohol. And they have some really good regional Vishnivkas that are they're much better. You can no longer drink blackberry juice with a straight face. It's like a core memory of drinking after Soplica in general. There are worse ones that taste like candy, way too sweet. But I feel like the Soplica one is too sweet. Yeah, Mondays always like, yeah, they do. I didn't get too much sleep last night either, so I gotta fix that up. Okay, first we add the white powder. This is the white powder that everybody loves. It makes you energetic. Makes you feel good. Solves all of your problems. And it is just caffeine. Then we add the green powder. This is lime flavored. So this is my alchemy. Oh, I should probably start downloading the character creator, shouldn't I? Dragon's Dogma 2. Got a few shots of Mirabelle stuff if you want to taste it. I have had like Soplica Mirabeluvka or whatever the fuck they call it. Did you make some of your own though? Okay, chat. It's gonna take us a long time. It'll take us exactly 1 minute and 10 seconds to download this character creator. Oh no. Not me, nobody. Yeah, it's handmade? Yeah, I'd love to taste it. I'd love to try it. I think I'm gonna be making some beer this streamer unprepared. That's true. I'm gonna be making some beer this summer, I think. Some Micro Raptor micro brew. Probably just a Hefeweizen. Wanna make some beer too? We should try to sync it up and we can like learn from each other. Yeah, I'm gonna be making like a Hefeweizen, I think. It's almost downloaded. Who do we want to make first, Chad? Do you want to make Becky or Yolanda first? Yolanda is our resident, Becky is our pawn. Doing a built-in wardrobe soon. I plan some resting space. Yeah. I know what you mean. Okay. Ready to launch. I'm going to, just for the moment, mute the game or my audio. I want to adjust the. Oh, we also need to hold on. I need to end the stream for YouTube and the recording for YouTube.